And a very warm and windy welcome. Here we are in Mexico for the first stop of the GKA Freestyle Kite World Tour. My name's Liam Dredge, and with me as well, Kenji. Super excited to finally kickstart. We've been waiting all morning for the wind. Now it's picked up. We're starting with some early rounds on the men, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else right now.
I'm absolutely stoked to be here. I'm super excited to be here for the first stop of the GKA World Tour in Mexico. I believe it's the first one in history.
Yeah.
So stoked to be here, my friend.
Yeah, no, it's our first time here, so very, very happy. And we're underway at the moment with the men. We do have two-man heats going into the early rounds because we are not having a full ladder. We're currently in round one, heat number 2. And you can see there we have Arthur Gilbert against Catillo Cafida. We're actually going through this heat now. It's 5 trick attempts and 3 accounting in the early rounds. And then we're going to the usual 7 and 4. The women will be going all the way with 7 trick attempts and 4 counting. But on these early rounds with the men, it's 5 attempts and 3 counting. Here we have Catriel going 4.
It's like a blind judge right there.
Yep.
These are some interesting conditions. The chop here is both favorable and unfavorable, depending on if you time it right. You can get some of the biggest boosts off of it, or it can flatten out on you right before you get that pop.
Yeah, we've got about, I would say, 16 to 18 knots maybe out there at the moment.
Beautiful conditions for Vallarta. Or we'll say yes.
Yeah. Well, you've spent a little bit of time out here. Why don't you tell the people at home sort of what are the conditions like? I mean, you can obviously it's a little bit choppy. It's not your prime Brazil lagoon conditions.
Bit choppy,
yeah,
absolutely. Very dynamic. It's extremely dynamic water. And most of the time when I talk to riders, I tell them whoever can read that water best is going to do really well. That's why a lot of the local kids do end up doing great at these competitions, is because they have the ability to time those waves. You can see how they can be the perfect kicker, and then within under half a second, all of a sudden, things white water, and you're not going to pop off of it. So if you can time it just right, these things can buck you pretty good. The other tricky condition is it's onshore. So hitting these kickers can be a bit tricky. If you see anybody doing any kind of flat 3 maneuvers, it'll be, there we go. Woo!
Arthur Gilbert.
I believe that was a 317.
Pure power with Arthur, one of the top riders actually in the rankings as well. He's a 5th place last year. Also world champion, I think it was in 2019 he took the world championship, and always one of the riders that when you see in the lineup, shows pure power, full commitment, and it's always good to see on the water. We're actually missing quite a few big names as well at this event. Matteo Dorotini not with us, Jean-Maria Coccoluto also not with us, Valentin Garat not with us as well, but big names as well. We've got Maxime Chablot, he's here, going to be up later. Finn Flugel, current reigning world champion. So still big names in this competition.
Yeah, we've been watching Finn over nationals last week because he's been out there just putting on a show between the heats. He was not competing, but boy, he's got some style, dude.
Yeah,
so excited.
So we can see Arthur in first place still. You can see the 3 trick attempts he had. Capriel still looking for that last trick counting, but we have a 14.34 for Arthur, favoring the 3.37 from his opponent. And the drone here just showing us how beautiful the spot is. You can see the hotels that surround the comp spot. And I couldn't believe how many kiters I saw when I came down. We've had the Festival del Viento, is it? That we've had just before our event here. So really good setup. 400 to 500 kite surfers out there the other day. Similar to what we have in Europe, which is like the Defi win. But yeah, amazing to see.
I believe it is the biggest event as far as just numbers of people competing in it in all of Latin America.
Oh, amazing. And then you can see there, that's our event site there, the judge tower just on the right-hand side. And then just behind you, we have our sort of VIP section with the colourful sort of tenty roof. And that's our home for the next 5 days.
And you really couldn't have asked for a more fantastic setup for this event, especially on these beaches. So you can see our beaches are not that huge, but it is side shore, so you've got plenty of space to launch and land. And then just super excited. As you can see, though, that kite is almost on top of that judge's tower, so always exciting to be a judge and look up at that kite right over your head.
Yeah, the riders, they'll definitely be wanting to find the flat spots between the waves. They won't want to go too deep, just...
Absolutely. Although I did listen to the judges meeting earlier, and what they said is, you can jump within the box and land outside it, but you cannot jump outside of the box, mostly for safety, keeping everybody on the beach safe. Again, that onshore wind, if you miss that trick and that kite's coming down hard, straight downwind.
No, definitely. Well, first local here now, Einar.
Einar Saad, one of my good friends, and he's a powerhouse. I'm excited to see what he can do.
against Leo coming out of Australia. Came directly from Australia as well. So big travel for him. And let's see who is going to advance straight through to round 3. That's what happens. The winner goes straight through to round 3. The other rider into round 2. So 5 trick attempts, 3 of which are going to be counting, as we're in heat number 3 of round number 1.
I think looks like Einar's up first. Nice. What was that? Yeah, I could see the grabbed pass, but I didn't quite catch the direction of the rotation.
Let's see if we can get a replay on that one.
Good style, though. Einar's got a fantastic style. Usually favors slightly flatter water, like most of these super stylish guys are. But if he can pull off his stuff in this with these kickers, he will boost huge and put a lot of steez into it.
Yeah, straight after here, Mexico, we're going all the way over to Borkum for the next freestyle stop. It's pretty much back to back. So from the sunny, hot tropics of Mexico to the little bit colder European spot in Germany and Borkum. But look, it's going to be great going from one to the other.
And boy, these athletes, they have stamina to be able to go through these events one after another like that is impressive.
And here we have Leo now coming in for his first trick attempt, left foot forwards. Another rider with great amount of style.
Setting up. Big old back mob.
Little butt check there coming out of on the landing. One thing the judges do look at, they want to see those clean landings, trying to avoid the butt checks. You see here the replay.
Oh, no, my bad. That I believe was a KGB.
So first score on the board there, 2.6.
An absolutely beautiful beach. Also a great place to come ride if you ever want to come down. You can see how much space you have doing long reaches up and down the coast. It's one of my favorite things to do. Take a few pesos, get a few beers here, get a few beers there, and meet a lot of people.
That seems to be a familiar thing here in Mexico.
It's very much a thing, yes.
So let's have a little look into the judging criteria as well. So what are exactly these judges looking for? Just as we see Einar now going for his second trick attempt.
Boom, butt check. Probably not sure that's going to count. Looks like the board may have lifted off the water, at which point it will definitely not count. I'll leave that up to the judges.
Yeah, so they're looking for height, amplitude, power, and they want to see that proper kite angle. That's very important. Combined with the technical difficulty element of the trick with a clean execution. Smooth landings, control, and showing a high level of commitment. And with the rotations, seeing them well executed, completing the rotations. And if the riders are able to add in some grabs, those will also be rewarded.
I think Alvaro, our head judge, said his main criteria was definitely going to be power.
Yeah,
he wanted to see guys boost. They want to make it so it's impressive. If you can feel a little bit of fear for those knees when they're up there, I think that's always a fun thing to see.
Yeah, and like you mentioned a couple of minutes ago with the kickers a little bit, if you can time it with the kickers and get a little bit more air time.
100%. You'll see sometimes
some cool stuff.
If they time it just right, you'll see them pop some huge boosts. But if you see them touch that white water, as soon as that wave starts to break, that shore wave starts to break, it just kind of sucks you down and doesn't allow you to pop. So once again, being able to read the conditions and use that water is going to be huge.
So Leo there starting his trick there, toe sides.
Talking to our local invited judge, Anthony Legare, another great rider. He's actually judging at this event because he's recovering from an ACL surgery, but he's looking good. He was in our big air competition and is skipping all the freestyle stuff for now. Probably give him another 2 months and he's good to go. He also mentioned a lot about rewinds. He said one of the biggest things for this event was that they're gonna give a lot of points to rewinds. It seems like the 1 pass, 2 pass, 3 pass is kind of becoming the thing, right?
Yep.
It's just rotating like crazy. And to kind of break that monotony, I think the judges said that if you throw a rewind at the end of your trick, that will score very big.
Yeah, definitely.
The other thing too, if you look at the conditions, landing blind and this stuff, it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Yeah, before you know it, you might end up on the beach.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Or even just I've seen a few guys at Nationals just bounce right off the chop. You hit that wave a little bit right and just right onto your bum.
So trick attempt number 3 going in now for our riders.
Looks like Leo is doing a bit better on these. He looks like he's got a 3.00 and a 3.47.
Yeah, for the dum-dum, that 3.47. He has a KGB that opened up his tricks. On Einer's side, he had a front blind mode just at 1.5. That was the big bug check that we saw. Score for this trick now, waiting to come in.
I like that slow motion replay, though. That was one great looking move.
Yeah, pro mode there. So Leo now going for his third trick attempt. No real big scores just yet coming in these early rounds. We did have earlier on Davi Ribeiro and Pedro Alexander in the first heat of the day, followed up with Arthur Gilbert, and now with Leo and Einar.
When, all these guys are real strategists, they don't want to go out there and, get hurt at their first heat. So taking it nice and easy, kind of progressively building it up.
Crash there for Leo. So first big crash of the heat now in heat number 3, round number 1. If you're just tuning in, this is the first freestyle stop of the year. Local time here in Mexico is just gone past 2 o'clock. So if you're tuning in from Europe, it's for sure it's coming into the late hours of the evening now. But we've probably still got a good solid, I would hope, 2 hours of wind. We typically get that 12 to 4 where the breeze tends to come in.
That's usually it. You saw this morning was absolutely flat.
Yeah, it's completely nothing.
Yeah, pretty hot too, right? At that meeting. But as the day progressed, the wind kept coming up. And as soon as that wind line starts to show, it just progressively builds right up into about 2 o'clock. And then we'll generally hold till about 4.
Perfect. So 2 good solid hours left of comp, hopefully today.
Replay of Einar. It's a big old slim, looks like. Slim 5.
You can see there with the kite angle, a little bit high maybe. Didn't seem too stoked with that one. As waiting for those scores to come in, going into our 4th attempt. Leo having a good year last year as well in 9th place. So a nice top 10 finish for him in 2025.
Leo Versi. And he is from New Zealand? Am I correct?
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah, rides for Nash.
Right on, right on. A lot of new faces. I haven't been keeping up with all these young guns lately, and it's a new generation with a lot of power. I'll say there we go. Nice back mode, but not quite there.
Another crash for Leo, so that's 2 in a row now. He's still looking for that 3rd scoring trick. The Slim 5 is going to be dropping soon.
Einar coming in. Left foot forward. He's waiting for just a little bit more wind.
Yeah, he's one of the bigger guys as well.
He is. He is a big guy. Yeah, it's not uncommon to see him riding about a meter or 2 bigger than most of our competitors through nationals. Just, size, man. You gotta take out the big stuff when you're a big guy. Front mob.
Yeah, shame. Big butt crash there.
And the conditions, once again, like I said, not only is it the pop, where if you get it just right, it'll give you a beautiful pop. Otherwise, it might suck you down. The landings are also really tricky. As you're coming down, sometimes you've got a nice flat, makes it super buttery. Sometimes you're hitting a little peak, and it just bumps you right off your board.
Yeah, landing in the chop is definitely a bit more challenging.
I believe the judges did say they were going to take that into consideration slightly. Obviously, you're still looking for good landings, good clean landings. But, you can't expect them to land as clean as they would in flat water, for example.
Okay, so there you can see the 3.17 just dropped there for Einar with the Slim 5. I think Leo's now having his last attempt of the heat.
That was a blind judge, if I'm not mistaken, or 313. I always get those mistaken.
So you can see there Leo coming in. That's the end of the heats. So waiting for that final score to drop. 2-minute transition time. So we're going nice and quick as we see the replay here from that final attempt.
Blind judge 3. There we go.
And we've got another big name taking center stage now in the next heat. We've got Maxime Chabloz, also a world champion from 2 years ago.
Sorry, my bad. That was a 3-1-3, not a blind touch 3. Like I said, I continuously make that mistake. A little highlight of A&R doing a very stylish moves right here. A nice slim 5 right there. And there's a 3-1-3.
Joining Maxime in the next heat, another local. Familiar with this guy? Andreas?
Andres Tapia, yeah, I've actually competed with him before back when I was a much younger man.
First time competing on the GKA here for Andreas.
I heard he was excited. He sounded a little bit nervous last night, but I think he's extremely excited to be here. He's been at the Vallarta Wind Festival just about every, or sorry, Bucerias Wind Festival at just about every season it's gone on.
So Maxime last year with a third place finish. We still need our profile shot there for Andreas. But you can see Maxime on the right. Very well-rounded athlete. Freeride skiing world champion as well. He was a couple of years ago. Spends the winter months in the snow, and the summer months chasing the wind.
You know, having that pro athlete mindset makes a big difference. You know, these guys are stretching, prepping, probably hitting the gym, eating right, getting everything to bring their best performance on the water.
So we're just waiting now for the heat to get underway. 2-minute transition times. Plan for today is just to fire through the early rounds of the men. Potentially we might see the women, but I probably think we'll do the rounds number 1 and number 2 of the men. And then we'll go back to back with the women for the next few days, with hopefully seeing the finals take place on Friday or Saturday. Because there's lots else going on. You know, if you're local here and you're tuning in and the spot's not too far away, do come down and check out the event site. We've got lots going on. There's plenty of bars. There's DJs coming on Friday and Saturday night. Obviously, all the riders are around here. We're going to be doing some signing sessions as well with them. So there's plenty going on this amazing event site that we have.
Exactamente. Para todos los locales que nos están viendo aquí en México, de preferencia aquí en lo que es Bucerías Nayarit, por favor, caigan al festival. Va a estar buenísimo. Tenemos fiestas, tenemos riders profesionales, los mejores en el mundo, y están más que invitados de venir y pasarla con ellos.
Okay, so it looks like here Maxime's starting to engage now. So first trick attempt coming up for him.
Right foot forward.
Textbook.
Beautiful. Front blind mode.
And we saw a back mode from Andreas on his first attempt. That's a 2.93 coming in. And then we'll watch the replay now with Maxime.
Here's Andres in yellow.
Yeah, front blind mode there from Maxime. Scores coming in. That's the textbooks from him. Always see him do those.
Anytime you can get textbook in these conditions, it's highly praised, highly praised.
So the riders, they're getting roughly about a minute to do each attempt. And the reason why the judges have decided to give a full minute is because, like we said, it's a bit choppy. It's also the onshore conditions, so they giving a little bit of flexibility in terms of getting ready for each attempt.
Absolutely takes a little bit of time to get back upwind past that chop and position yourself for the next trick. Oh,
Oh, big crash there.
Andres usually goes big. Pretty much he always goes big. Always an exciting rider to watch.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. It's nice to have the guys that are local to the spot. Show a little bit of variety. You can see the 5.63 there from Maxime. Scores just dropped. So a nice opening trick for him as he comes in again, coming in from the right to the left, switches to toe side.
Toe side front blind mode.
See if we can get the replay from that last trick attempt. Here we go.
It's like, here we go. There's your front roll. I'm going to wait for the judges to confirm that score and trick, just so I don't say anything that I'll regret.
Just waiting for the score to drop now as we go back into Andres.
Andres Tapia also rocking the Bapo beachwear. It's his brand. If anybody's interested, always take a look at what he's got. Nice board shorts, nice bikinis. So he does a lot of trips to Brazil and just hands them out to all the ladies. So always a fun guy to hang out with.
So third attempt now for Andres. Hitting that halfway point now in the heat.
Expect him maybe to do a back mob. Seems like one of his signature moves headed in that direction. But he's turning around. Let's see what he's thinking.
So it was a Chromo 5 there from Maxime on his previous attempts. That's come in now at a 4.63. You can see it's just dropped.
Seems like he wanted to go for the kind of like back roll tantrum pass.
Let's just
Or
see
maybe go for
exactly
the
what happens.
Hindenburger, but not.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wanted something, didn't he?
It looked like he missed the pop coming off the kicker and tried to compensate with sending the kite, but didn't quite get the amplitude he needed.
Yeah, that would just go down as a back roll.
Maxime coming in.
So coming in now
Nice
on the
power.
opposite side.
Oh, nice. Let's a front nose grab. Two.
Oh, just keeps it. It looks like he
Jesus.
didn't quite get the pop he was hoping for, but still managing to adjust. Let's just see here.
Great landing too. The way he landed just in front of that white water. I think you can see it right there. Yeah. And that's where you want to land, on the face of that chop. If you land a little bit on the peak, it's just going to bump you right off your board. All right, we got Andres setting up. Andres Tapia, always happy to be here. Always a stoked rider. His whole family rides, by the way. I believe I ended up teaching his father and uncle, and both his brother and sister are also kiters. All good.
And all local.
All local. Oh,
Yeah, let's go to the bar.
going for the slim, but not quite there.
The big score now just dropped as well. Maybe you saw it just before this replay popped up, but Maxime Yeah.
Seems like he's forcing that kite a little bit to try to get that pop. He's not quite getting what he needs off the kickers, making up for it with the kite, but as you can see, it really throws you into a bit of a dangle. It could really mess up that rotation.
So Maxime's now got 3 scoring tricks.
Boom.
Yeah, aborts that one. His lowest score now is a 5.63. That's for his opening trick of a front blind mobe. He did just lock in a 7.47 for the slim 7. So if he's looking now to adapt on a trick, yep, he also has that Chromo 5 actually for a 4.63. So that's going to be the one he wants to kick out now. But yeah, early round still, so no one loses just yet.
How's that pretty much just a big old S-bend right there?
Okay, so final round of tricks. Last trick for each rider. It's definitely going to be Maxime advancing straight through to round number 3. If you're curious to see the ladders, you can always go on the website at the GKAKiteWorldTour.com, hit the watch live button in the top right hand side, and then you can see all the ladders and exactly who will be facing who in the upcoming days.
All right, on this coming in, port side. Let's see what he's got. I think he's just transitioning here to set up. Back to toe side. And this is also another big rider, so he needs quite a bit more power to get it. So sometimes if the conditions aren't as strong as he likes, he can get a little less pop than he's looking for. Maxime on the other side, Maxime Chalot on the other hand, getting great pop. Not the best landing, but again, real nice tension on the lines, good pop, and nice slack at the end there.
Yeah, it just crashes out here. Was chasing that.
Wow.
That score. 17.73 those combined heat total so far, just shy of Arthur Gilbert, who was up in the 19s. So we're seeing some good scores being thrown down here. And following on from this heat now, we are going to be having another local rider, someone that has competed with the tour before. Anthart Raka is going to be coming up in heat number 5, round number 1 of the men's freestyle.
Yeah, and Tarraca, probably one of the most famous kiters in Mexico. He's been at the competition since he was a little grom. I actually traveled with his father around Mexico doing the tour back in the day when he was just a baby. He would run around playing with a little trainer kite and then just let it go to go play with his dogs.
Yeah, sometimes Anthar, he does join us sometimes in Brazil, but obviously here in his home spot, going to be great to see. But don't go anywhere. We're going to be coming right back. We're going to have a short commercial break and back with more action very soon. So here we go. We carry on with men's round one of the freestyle, first freestyle event of the year here in Mexico. And we've got the riders Anthor Raka against Antoine Olivier coming out of France. Anthor now competing in the home country. And these riders have 5 attempts, and they're going to be 3 tricks counting. It's important they sort of show variety as well. They can't do the same trick twice and get scored for the same trick. They do have to tick different categories, which is why you're going to be seeing a little bit of variety. We are yet to see a combo. So let's see who throws down one of the first combos of the heat.
Well, first heat of the day, I think they're taking it a little bit easy. If you can call that easy.
Yeah. What is easy?
Looks like Antar laying out the first move. Let's see what Antonia's got to respond with.
He's a good young rider, actually, Antoine. Follows the tour, goes through all the stops.
So he's got plenty of power. Oof.
Big butt check there.
S-bend 5, if I'm not mistaken. But butt check, like you said. Replay. Oh, getting a little tangled up on the bar there at the end, it looked like.
Opened up with a double half cab.
I believe he is the first person to do the double half cab pass in competition, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so Antonin, they've actually crashed out his first trick. So that has gone down as a crash. Scores still coming in for Anthor. He's gone for the same trick again. He's landed it. So there you go. So the riders out there as well, they do have a screen on the beach where they're able to sort of see their scores live in time. Also with the light colors that they have, the big screen shows the color, and then they'll from there have 1 minute to do their trick.
Something you might not see from the images is that they can see each other throwing these tricks. So as you see your competitor throw something, it obviously motivates you and kind of makes you want to, bring up those scores. So let's see what Antoine's got for us here. Again, plenty of power. Looks like he's got tons of speed. Looks like he's timing the kicker.
Yeah, I was going to say a little kicker there for him to get amongst. Better height, better power. Exactly the same, just skipping out on the landing.
And these conditions are very much like that. Like I said, if you come in just a little bit on the bumpy side, it'll buck you right off.
Gets a good amount of pop, though, and good power into that. Nice bit of travel distance as well.
Yep, 100%. Very
Just
nice
here.
style. Yeah. Also quite shallow there, just letting everybody know this is
Straight in here with Anchor.
Wow.
So he's had 2 scores coming in now, 4.67 for his backside 315, and the 5.37 that he opened up his account with. And Antonin has got 2 crashes. As Anchor here, his 3rd trick attempt.
Well, as the executions are fantastic. Good pop, good power. Those landings, though, are just making it so tricky.
So rounds 1 and round 2 will stick to 2-man heats, and then from round 3 onwards, we'll be going to 4-man heats.
Antoine loading up. We got plenty of power once again. Oh,
It looked
very
like he
nice.
wanted another rotation there, but
He
I
did.
don't think he was feeling it. Let's see.
It's like
Looks like he aborted the rotation
the
halfway through the trick.
blind judge 3? Is that where it finished?
I mean, it's going to be a scoring trick for him.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Maybe we can see the replay there. So, yeah, let's have a look exactly what happens. So again, gets a good pop. Feel like he wanted to go again.
Good call not going for it though. At the height he had, I think that was his best bet. It's just to land it and get some scores on the board.
So fourth trick attempt now for Anthar.
Oh,
Just about.
you could see him save that landing. It was like a little bump for a trip there, but just managed to seize it out and ride out. Looking good.
So a nice close-up slow-mo replay here. Good extension.
Very
Just
nice.
about keeps it. Yeah, it was a backside 3-1-3 that's gone down for Antonin on that last attempt. The one that he sort of aborted midway through. That's a 2.87. Fourth trick attempt now coming in from a different way. Still needs two tricks. So he needs to land these last two attempts.
KGB?
That's one trick there.
KGB 5? I'm gonna wait again for the judges to fill us in on that one. Definitely a back roll. Yeah, definitely KGB. Actually, that might have been a back to blind. I don't think he finished that rotation. Whoa, Antara getting bucked a little weird there. Seems like didn't have quite the control he needed off the pop to get anything done. Still holding a pretty good score though.
Yeah, so he's definitely going to be advancing through to round number 3. Last trick attempt now of this heat. And then we'll be moving on and we'll be seeing up next another local, Juan Pablo Tron.
Juan Pablo Tron, JP. Yeah, from Tronex. Him and his two brothers are extreme sports athletes in just about everything you can imagine, from skydiving to surfing to anything that gets your heart going. Oh, nice.
Okay, so that's it. Heat number 5 is over. It's going to be Anthar going through to round number 3. Antonin going into round number 2. Like we said, no one actually loses at the moment. These early rounds theoretically act as sort of a seeding round for later on in the ladder. We've got 15 men here in Mexico, 8 women.
Real nice closing move for Antar on that one. Didn't quite catch the initial part of the trick, but it seemed like a double pass after.
Okay, so a change of riders now. So let's go back into who we've got. We've got Kimo Karim Mahmood. Very technical rider. He has a 7th place in the world rankings from 2025. So again, one of the top guys, especially at this event as well, with a few of the other ones not here. And then we've got JP. Give us a little bit of a background on JP. I met JP the other day over in the marina by his sort of shop, Tron.
Yep.
Looks like they got a really good setup down there.
JP was actually yes, he does. He has a basically do like I said, just about any sport you can imagine, from e-foils to kiteboarding, kite foiling, well, winging. I believe even like I said, skydiving. So if you're into anything like that, they're the guys to talk to, as well as a really cool gym for extreme sports athletes. So a lot of calisthenics, a lot of movement-based stuff, and you can really tell these kids are super athletic.
And it's his first time as well competing on the tour here. You can see he wasn't even supposed to be really wasn't really planning it, and then we had a free spots, and obviously one of the local wild cards here.
And I talked to him yesterday actually, and he was telling me how he hasn't really done any freestyle in quite a while. Yesterday he was doing some kite lessons with some girls and said, "Hey, give me your kite. Let me go for something crazy here," and managed to land a 313, which he hadn't done in a while. So he was pumped and excited, and he's hoping he can put that on the water today. There you go. That
It's
seems like
just
the 313 just
yeah, it
didn't
just
nail the
starts off with a
landing.
crash. It's okay, get the crashes out early.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, multi sport athlete, and incredibly talented in all.
Okay, so next to jump is going to be the red lycra. We're looking for the red lycra now with chemo. And there it is chemo. Whether he's waiting there for his lycra color to be shown or whether he's had a crash, but he's not actually in the competition area just yet.
And you got to remember, once you do your trick, the numbers keep going.
Yeah.
So if you do your trick early and you still got 30 seconds left, he might not see that the colors change, so he's just waiting for that ticker to go down, see his color, now he's good to go.
Okay, so here we go. First trick of the day here for chemo. And clearly at the moment, just something that we can't see. Looks like he's getting locked and loaded now. Here we go.
Here we go.
So plenty of speed coming in from the left to the right. Power.
317. Wow. Clean too. Textbook.
A great open. Great open here. You can see loads of power. Super fast rotations. And a
Clean.
very clean landing as well.
Given the amount of power, I don't mind if your knees bend a little bit. Hey, man, that's just part of absorbing all that impact. I think that was about as good as it gets. Seems like his leash is off though. I wonder what that's all about. Maybe resetting it for passing in the opposite direction. Sure.
JP enjoying the crowd there down at the beach.
Probably one of the most talkative kiters you'll ever bump into.
Okay, so here we go. Look at that score, that opening score there for that backside 317, 7.43.
Well deserved.
One of the highest individual trick scores we've seen so far today. JP, is he wanting a combo? Oh, I thought that would have been a nice opportunity to whack in a little combo there.
I think he wanted to go for it, but it looks like he looked at the water and realized he's not that high up and said,
Yeah.
"You know what? I'll just play it safe on this one."
Kimo also a really solid big air rider. He's done a few events when it comes to big air as well. Very well rounded, does it all very, very well.
And where is he from?
Egypt.
Egypt. Gotcha, gotcha. I've heard nothing but good things about Egypt. Really fantastic flat water spots.
Yeah, you got it all.
Morocco's supposed to have some pretty good waves as well, right?
And another trick there landed from Kimo. That's 2 for 2.
See the
Replay
replay.
here.
back. Nice.
Using that wave as well to the advantage on the kicker.
With a beautiful blindside landing. And very stylish execution.
He's got a good style. Okay, now JP.
There we go. It's got the power. Might want it coming left foot forward. Let's see.
So riders roughly have around 1 minute, around 60 seconds to complete their trick. So JP probably having to now go on this tack, I would say. The judges, they do want to be relatively strict when it comes to the time. So here we go. I'm expecting now a trick to be made.
He's in the box. He's looking good. Kind of cruising on top of a little wave there. Let's see how that works out for him.
Score also about to come in for a KGB5 from Chemo on that last trick attempt. Expecting another big one.
Juan Pablo just not seeming to be comfortable for his trick. Let's hopefully see if we can get something done right here.
Yeah, you can see
Here he
he's,
goes. Here he
yeah,
goes.
maybe
There he goes.
maybe the wind dropped a little bit.
Could very well be up front to oof.
Big crash. Timed the takeoff well though. Look on the wave here, you can see he was there looking right at it. Got a nice takeoff. Just couldn't grab the bar on the way around.
Front to wrap seems like what he was going for.
So a big 7.73 for Chemo on that last KGB5. That's 2 for 2. He's on a total of 15.16 already.
Nothing lower than a 7 on the scoreboard so
Nothing
far.
lower than a 7. Highest heat total so far is from Arthur Gilbert in heat number 2. That was a 19.04. So another solid trick here from Chemo would put him as a man to beat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I bumped into him this morning and he looked stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we go straight away into the box.
Oh,
Smooth grab.
and just what the judges were talking about, power, grab, and then the revert at the end there, right?
Yeah, it's cool. He does that really well.
Unfortunately, not quite the landing he wanted, but other than that, I think that the judges were pretty excited. I think they were just like, "Hey, dude, just land it." There you go. And again, coming in, like I said, coming in blindside on these tricks or wrapped is extremely difficult. Anytime the bar's behind your back like that and your eyes are somewhere else, it's the balance get thrown off. Juan Pablo seeing that, maybe thinking, now's my moment. This is my chance.
Needs a big one.
Needs a big one.
Needs to get up in the 7s. Ah, nice power.
Oh,
Just looked like his sort of axis, his body axis there was just a little bit off coming down on the landing.
It's a lot of white water right when he touched. See the replay. Make sure I'm not hallucinating things here. But as far as I can tell, yeah,
Just a bit back foot heavy.
yeah. And that backside of the wave like that, it's very bubbly. It's a very airy part of the water. So when you hit it, it's almost like hitting, yeah, foam basically. Same thing right there with Chemo.
He's gone for exactly the same trick, same outcome there.
Usually your best bet is either in the flat, of course, in front of the wave or right using kind of as a down slope. But anything behind it really starts to affect that landing.
So last trick attempts of the heat. It is going to be Chemo who's going to be advancing straight through to round number 3. He'll be looking for that big heat total score though. JP now just out of the competition area, so we'll be turning around and coming back in.
Juan Pablo Tron, also known as Juanpi amongst local riders. Nice back, nice grab. Ah, oh, I thought his leash came off of his harness there for a second. I think it was.
Nice grab here, though.
Oh yeah, lay it out, dude. You can see full hand on the board, fingers over the side. Yeah, very nice.
Okay, so Kimo.
Board side tack. See.
Oh, yeah, didn't get the takeoff there. Lacked a lot of height, but was able to get rounds. It will be a scoring trick. Will it be enough to get the highest heat total so far today?
Here's the replay.
Yeah, a bit of a choppy start there, wasn't it?
Didn't quite nail that grab either, but again, wasn't quite the altitude he wanted, I'm sure.
Okay, so we're going to be moving on with the men into heat number 7, which will be the last heat of round number 1, because we have Hironobu Nakano coming up next against Elliot Panett, and then in heat number 8 we have Finn Flugel, who is your seed number 1, who does not have an opponent. So we'll be going straight after heat number 7 into round number 2. We'll be right back just after this commercial break. So here we go. We're in heat number 7, round number 1. And these are your riders. Hironobu Nakano, who's been on the tour with us now for a couple of years, coming out of Japan. And then another Frenchie in Elliot Panett. Looks like he's recently made the switch over to Harlem as well. So this will be the last round of last heat of round number 1. And then we'll be going and advancing into round number 2 as well. And here we have Elliot.
Toe side. Ooh, very nice.
Sort of like a Maxime Chablos style there with the chromo.
Not super high, but extremely well executed. Very nice landing. It'll be interesting to see what the judges think of that.
And this is the first trick from Hironobu.
Whoa. Man, that's some power in that pass, huh?
He's good. And quite interesting here as well is that you can see Elliot's actually riding straps.
Yep.
So the only rider so far that's chosen to do that. I also know that Finn Flugel rides straps as well. So yeah, opting to not use the boots.
Hmm. Which of these conditions I could kind of understand. Sometimes being a little looser in your feet and being able to move around. Mind, it might cost you on the landings, but sometimes I feel like you can set up better for the actual pop. You're just dealing with the chop better than if you were in boots.
Yep. So a 5.7 coming in there for Hironobu.
Well, I was talking to Eric Reinster last night, and he said something like, "You can't do wake tricks in straps," which I did have a counter argument to that, but maybe not the best one.
Yeah, maybe not.
Although he did agree with me that in these conditions, it is very hard to do stuff in boots. Right? It's just it's bumpy.
Yeah. You can see here just how bumpy it is. I mean, look at
Yes.
that. I mean, it's a prime example there. I mean, you can see coming in as well, sort of didn't look too steady with the speed and the power, and then just got zero pop, especially going over to toe sides.
And that does happen here sometimes. You might be perfectly set up, you think you're going good, and right as you're popping, it's almost like you're robbed of energy, which is seems like what happened there.
Yeah, so it was that Chromo 5 that Elliot opened up with as well, with a 4.43. Going to be a low score coming in now for Hironobu. And next to jump will be Elliot. So here we go. Coming in right foot forwards. Gets the pop. Oh, and just goes straight over the front there.
Big old front blind mob. Not happy with that crash though.
That one definitely woke him up.
You can see that body language as he recovers his bar there that he is not happy.
But like you said, he sort of ended up. He was pretty close to landing that one, but I think that the wave in front doesn't help.
No, no. It, like I said, extremely dynamic. That's the way I could describe this water is it's extremely dynamic, constantly changing. You almost have to read it as you're coming down on it. Oh, bit forced, but nice. Got it.
Yeah, ideally, if you told the riders where they would jump, they would want to be jumping pretty much right on the beach, where it's a
100%.
little bit flatter between the waves.
Which I believe is why the judges were so adamant at designating it not to, because we have had it a lot in competitions here where a lot of our riders are landing on the sand. So I'm sure to keep it safer and a little better for both the riders and the spectators, keeping a little further out is the right call.
Yeah, and it's just picking and choosing the right sections. So Elliot now will be coming back into the box. Elliot with a 13th place world ranking for 2025. And here we can see the drone in the sky. This is home for the next few days. You can see the lovely pool in the hotel. We're at Samba Balata is where we're based for the next few days. And you can see just gradually peels off to the right-hand side here where our VIPs are going to be watching all the action over the next few days, making its way over to the judge tower just on the right-hand side. And our athletes out on the water, throwing it down in these early rounds.
Elliott throwing something down there, didn't quite catch it, but seems like he did land it. Here's the replay.
Does he go for that blind move again?
Big old back. KGB. Yeah, it's the nice KGB looks like.
So a Tootsie Roll with 2.2 for Hironobu on his last trick, which was that low scoring one.
Just looks like a back with a kind of a tantrum grab there at the end.
Yeah, and that KGB as well from Elliot Pennett's come in at a low 2.90. Fourth trick attempt here for Hironobu.
And always interesting to see which side these riders choose to do their trick in. Because variety includes doing in both directions. You get more points if you're doing tricks in both directions. If you're consistently just doing one side, I think it does get a little less scored from the judge's perspective. They're looking for the more all-around rider.
And there you can see exactly what the riders are getting to see. You can see waiting for scores there, the yellow for the yellow liquid rider. That then rotates over to the reds, and the exact same process happens as well. So plenty of information for them down at the beach they can see while on the water.
Big thanks to Electrolyte. You can see that big red water bottle in the back there, hydrating all of us here at the competition in this hot Bucerias day. Always happy to have them as sponsors. The whole family that owns this company, by the way, all kiters as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very likely were in the race, the downwind race last week.
Perfect. Okay, so the countdown is on now for Elliot, as we can see him here coming in from the left.
There we go.
He's just racing over that chop, isn't he? Looking for a good spot.
Wow, that's actually really good. The initial pop I thought was going to mess him up a bit, but he seemed to really clean it up.
Yeah, the rotations were very fast.
Yeah, yeah. And his axis looked really nice. I saw the initial pop, would see that right there. I thought that was going to completely throw him off, but he really fixed it, and good landing as well.
So we go into the last trick attempts now of round number 1. That's probably going to make things interesting in this last round of tricks. You're just waiting now for that last score to drop from Elliot. It's definitely going to be a scored trick. And then it's going to be a fight for first place between these two riders.
Yonobu coming in. Looks pretty powered. See if we can get that pop. Big ol' front. Yeah, dude.
Bit of a heavy landing.
See the replay here. It's like a big slim 5.
Yeah, he's got that 2.20 that he wants to get rid of. Elliot's just dropped a 3.47. So just behind, as you can see. Doesn't need a lot to advance through. Elliot's going to be looking to probably try and make that KGB better. That's his lowest scoring trick so far, that 2.90. So let's see. Does he want to try and better that KGB?
There he goes.
Oh, it's going to be a crash there for him.
Again, not stoked with that landing.
So it's going to be Hironobu that goes through to round number 3. Elliot will go and into round number 2. Heat number 8 of round number 1 is just Finn Flugel alone. So he advances straight through, being the top seed in this event. And we'll be going straight into round number 2. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back as we can continue firing through these rounds on the first day of this event window. It's the 26th of May today, and local time now is 3 o'clock. So thanks for tuning in wherever you are in the world. Do let us know any questions you have in the YouTube comments. We'll do our best to find out the answers. Maybe try and get a couple of riders in the booth over the next few days as well, and see how far we can progress later today. The plan of action is to continue firing through with the men, and then we'll see how the wind looks. Typically, we get about 3 to 4 hours of pretty solid winds. We're coming up to that sort of 2 hour point already, so I would say at least another good hour to go. So the plan of action to go through all of round number 2 for the men, and then let's just see how far we can progress.
Sounds like a plan.
What sort of kite sizes are we seeing out there at the moment?
I believe most people are riding anywhere from a 12 to a 15, depending on your size and your weight. Lighter, smaller riders would probably be fine on a 12. But some of these guys are significantly bigger and heavier than the others. So I would say anything between a 12 and a 15 is more or less what we're seeing out there. That's usually the difference too between most women and men riders as well, is somewhere in the 2 to 3 meter differences.
So Pedro Alexander coming out of Brazil came up short against Davi Ribeiro in round number 1. And he'll be facing Catriel Kefida. First time competing there as well for him. Always good to see some new fresh faces on tour.
So their first scores have come in. Pedro is at 3.17 and Catriel is at 2.47. Slight lead for Pedro at the moment, but they're still at trick 1. So let's see how this progresses.
Yeah, Pedro looking at the scores here on the early tricks that we missed. It was a slim 5 from Pedro, which came in at that 3.17.
What about the Catriel? What did he do for that 2.7 to that 2.47?
Let's have a little look. So here we go into the third trick attempts now of the riders. Catriel there with a crash on the last attempt. So both riders crashing out on trick attempts number 2. Replay here from Pedro. Also again riding straps like Elliot and Finn.
Interesting move. Almost like a Hindenburger, but not quite. Somewhere in between.
So drone here in the sky following our riders from the air. Does seem like maybe it's just dropping off a little bit. I don't know. Less white caps out there on the water. But here we go.
Generally, if the wind starts to get more of a north direction, it will start to give a bit of a wind shadow at the event site. So if we can keep that wind west-northwest would be the most favorable. So we're just going to hope that that wind doesn't shift over the afternoon and we continue to get that clean wind. That, I believe, is Andres, though, at the moment, just showing off his Birdman sponsorship.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not the rider that's in this heat.
No, and Andres is famous for presetting himself very far upwind for his heat, so I'm sure he's eyeing the next one over. That's Pedro Alexandre.
Okay, so Pedro now going for trick attempts number 4. It still remains in round number 2, 5 trick attempts and 3 count.
So here he goes. Toe side takeoff. Oof.
Oh,
Ninja speed rotation, but just little,
yeah, it looked like he over rotated a little
little,
bit
as
coming into the
say, a
landing.
little too much of a slap
Yeah.
there. That is a tricky part though when you realize like your altitude might not quite be there. You're gonna compensate by rotating faster, but the
Yeah.
negative side is you might over rotate as you're coming down.
Yeah, you can see he just about managed to grab the bar there as well. It was a really stretching for it.
This is Catriel, I believe.
Yeah, he's going again. Well, he's only got one scoring trick so far on the boards, so does need to land these last two attempts. Seems to be taking his time a little bit.
It's a little underpowered there. And really tricky to get over that white water if you're underpowered. These waves aren't huge, but you know, if you're just a little bit not yeah, a little underpowered.
So it is worth noting as well.
Now I'm not sure what size differences these kids have on their kites, but Pedro for sure seems a bit lighter. So if they are on the same kite, I would expect him to have a little more power.
He's just checking over his shoulder, looking at the screen on the beach, waiting for his turn.
Which is very appreciated because I do believe that if you jump out of turn, you will be penalized. So smart move.
So again, if they lose this, they're still not out. It just helps them with their seeding in round number 3.
You're going toe side. Ooh, nice. It's like a slim chance starting from toe side though. All these new variations have these fancy names, but a lot of the times I don't quite know the exact terminology. So for me, that's a toe side, and then you go into a slim.
So that might have been Pedro's last attempt. And now Catriel.
All right, looks like he's got some power. Get over that chop and hopefully position himself proper.
Yeah, he wants to go right foot forward, doesn't he?
Seems like it, yeah. Yeah, at this point, I think he just wants to nail something he feels comfortable doing. Go.
Yeah, unhooks.
Front roll to blind.
Did his kite go into the water there? I don't think so. I think he managed to just get it in time.
It's more of an S bend to blind, really. The judges did say that any kind of laid out tricks, any kind of Rayleigh trick to essentially heart attacks and henties, is that the more laid out you can get, the more they're going to score them.
It looks like we're going into the transition now of the next heats. Interesting that Pedro is still jumping now because I don't think that's actually going to count. He has already done 5 tricks.
Maybe just getting a little extra warm-up time out there, getting the feel for the conditions.
So we carry on heat number 2 of round number 2. Pedro wins that heat, so positions himself better in round number 3. And we jump straight into this round now, of round number two, heat number two. We've got Leo Verchia against Andreas Tapia once again.
It's like Andres Tapia going for the back mode there. Not quite the landing he wanted.
That graphic you just saw will be the next riders that come into the following heat. But at the moment, we're in heat number two. And if you were watching those trailers, you will see where we're going to be based throughout the year as well. So after this event, we go to Borkum, Germany, and then the last freestyle stop of the year is at the end of the year over in Brazil, and that's where we'll be crowning our world champions. Because there's 3 events of the year, they don't get a discard, so every event they go to matters tremendously when it comes to the ranking points. And Leo here, really nice. A good, unique style, Leo. I was chatting to him last night. He was even mentioning he wasn't going to be coming, but actually, in the end, he was able to now to come to Mexico.
And that was a great trick. Real nice style, good execution, real good landing as well. Got Andres coming in, left foot forward.
Yeah, KGB score from Leo coming in shortly.
Yeah, that one kind of threw me off. It seems like it was a little bit late on the pass. That's why I was not sure exactly what that was. Seems like a bit of a kind of like an NIS, or except non-inverted KGB essentially. Good style. Just going for the back mode. Nice.
Yeah, he's happy with
Very
that one
good.
as well. A
Happy with
little
that.
claim.
Yeah, he is happy.
Straight away. Nice to see there.
This is Leo, I believe, coming in right foot forward. Plenty of power. Sets up. Oh,
Oh, skidding out of the landing there. Does keep it together. Let's watch a replay there of that trick.
it's like maybe a front line mode, if I'm not mistaken.
Here we go, one more time replay. So we see comes in with power, gets a good pop using a kicker to his advantage. And just gets that extra rotation on the landing. Just skids out.
Yeah, beautiful landing with a bar wrapped behind his back like that. It's like he got a little high on that nose and pressed that tail down, but seemed pretty clean to me. No butt check. Board's still on the water.
Yeah, slim 7 there from Leo. Andreas now. What can he do following up from that back mode? That was a 3.3 there for him.
See, he's going other direction this time, so.
That's a bit of height. Oh, gets swallowed up there.
That was another back going that direction, maybe KGB, because I know he's right-handed, so he will be passing right to left.
Big crash there. Good see is all good. We see there's 6.80 there for Leo. And what went wrong here for Andreas? Just didn't look like maybe he had enough height. Came down quite heavy.
And Andres is he's a heavy guy. He's a big guy. Might not look it on screen, but he is. So you can see he's kind of forcing that kite, sending it up to 12 a little bit, almost lifting it, trying to get a bit of a flick out of it. It seems like he's oversending the flick and getting a bit of a dangle, and I think that's really throwing off his orientation.
And Leo as well, just crashing out. Goes for the grab as well.
Kite position was good though. I think he didn't have it too high or anything. I just came in some rough water.
It's taking a while for these riders to really try and adapt to these conditions.
Well, even Andres, I mean, he rides here every day, and it's a tricky spot. Whenever I used to compete here, I'd usually come a few days earlier and just try to ride as much as possible just to tune into it.
Okay, so we're now going into the last attempt for each rider.
Well, so far they both have a 3.30 to begin with, so we just need Andres to get up there into the sevens, and you might have a chance.
So the winner of this heat will be joining Hironobu and Finn in the round number 3. That means that the second place will be jumping into against Davi and Artur. So this is where the heats now start to get nice and stacked.
Oh, it's like a double back roll to wrapped.
Okay, last trick for Andreas. He'll be joining Davi and Artur in round 3. It has this one for fun. Just about manages to ride out of that one. A little bit of a butt check, but it will score.
It's like a big slim.
Okay, so there we have round number 2, heat number 2. All 5 trick attempts have been done by our riders. So Leo will advance into first place, Andreas in second. And up next, we'll be having heat number 3, Antoine Olivier against Juan Pablo Tron. Okay, and welcome back, and thanks for your patience. We actually, well, you wouldn't believe it, but it's so hot out there that the system and the computer actually crashed. Where obviously for the judging panels and everything that we need to make competition run, basically just decided to turn off on us. That's how hot it is out there.
It is hot in Mexico. That's why we love beer so much.
Yeah, beers and tequila, I guess, right? That seems to be the way out here.
Beer, tequila, and this electrolyte stuff that I was talking to you about, this rehydrating drink that's pretty much in the hands of every competitor today.
Yeah, the weather here is, if you haven't been before, it's very, very hot. I mean, it's at least what 32, 33 degrees Celsius. Um, yeah, it's cooking out here.
I would not leave anything in direct sunlight, any kind of electronics. Definitely try to keep them in shade because the sun will definitely overheat your stuff, even if it's out in the sun.
Yeah, we just went down to the judge tower actually to go while we were checking out what was going on, and I have to say, the conditions out there are tough now. Like, I mean, the wind is still pretty solid. I think it has dropped a little bit, but it's still, good on the 12s, good on the 14s. But the one big factor is that tide. You don't really see it on the stream here. I mean, obviously it looks wavy as we're looking at it now, but it's really high, it's really choppy, and it's tough.
As that tide gets further and further, it does push that break closer to the beach, and then definitely adds a lot of difficulty to
Yeah,
it.
I mean, there's barely any now flat spots between the waves.
Mhm.
It's just your classic, high tide beach spot now.
Exactly. A lot of times, the best choice is to actually go behind the break at this point, but it's bumpy behind that break too, and there's not many flat spots at all. So you essentially kind of go into this moving, churning amount of water without any real ramps or anything. So it'll be interesting to see what these riders decide to do out there.
Yeah, it's going to be maybe opens up the doors for those local boys that could do know the conditions really well, and I mean, it definitely opens the doors to seeing who will adapt the best as we're now into the last heat of round number two. So this will be the last heat of the round number two for the men, and then the plan is to push over to the women and do round number one for the women, where we'll see four people in a heat rather than what we've been seeing recently, which is two. This will be the last two-man heat of the competition.
JP going for a back roll,
Oh, he wants a combo. You see, he wants a combo.
almost a hinty there.
Yeah, but when we talk about combos, one big thing that the guys mentioned, the judge team, combos are great and you can tick that trick, but it has to be pop to pop. You've got to do a trick straight away. You've got to go into the next one. We have seen riders previously do one, ride out for 10, 15, 20 meters and then go again. That's not how a combo works. It needs to be going directly from one into the other.
You're basically bouncing off your
Yeah,
landing.
exactly that.
I believe for wing foiling, it's the same as well.
Exactly the same, yeah. On the wing four, we have combos for the surf freestyle discipline, and it's exactly the same. Pretty much board taps down, foil to foil,
100%.
and Anton in here just riding in what looks to be the only flat spot in the competition.
I bet he would love to be able to pop right off of
Yeah,
that, but that would put him in the landing zone of basically the judges' tower.
but let's see. Maybe the tide with the times, the tide of the next couple of days means that maybe the tide is better in the afternoon. Hopefully, we want to try and time it as good, but just from that angle, you can
There's
see.
a good shot, exactly what I was about to say. There's a good shot. You can really see what you're dealing with and just how dynamic the water really is there. And believe it or not, if you go up and down the coast, sooner or later you actually hit some areas where that shore break will jack up to overhead.
There's some good wave spots as well along this coastline.
There definitely is. There definitely is. Just north of us, it's a fantastic place to actually go surf. Little point break there. But even within the bay, there's just some areas where it hits the shallow. It just jacks up way more than others. Certainly some areas where trying to get out there with a wing is hectic.
The boys here, you can see just on the left-hand side, bottom left-hand side of your screen, both going out to the left there. It's you can't quite see what is being shown on the. Ah, there we go, red. So red lycra now. That's going to be Antonin. Is going to be next to jump.
As you can see from the aerials, though, the box itself is still where it was the whole time, right? It's anchored, but the flat and the break itself have shifted slightly closer to the beach. So we'll definitely have to see how these riders adapt to that shifting tide line.
Okay, so here we go. Focus now on the young French rider.
Anton on the air rush,
Yep, riding the Razor,
a razor's edge.
a kite that's done so much in the freestyle discipline.
Oh, it's still great to see pure sea kites out there, right?
Yeah,
Big old back to. Oh, that was good. That was good.
nice. Running out of. Oh no, but
Oh,
he's crushed the kite.
now I did not check in with the judges. I mean, he did ride out of it for a
That
little bit.
goes down as a crash.
Goes down as a crash.
Yeah.
Got it.
Nice to be able to see it from that different angle now as well. You can see
Yeah, fan.
solid landing.
He saw it too, looks like. Probably knew that thing was going to hit the beach anyways, decided to let it go, slack it out a little bit so it doesn't tomahawk into the sand. Good call. Very nice KGB. Is it KGB to blind? Unfortunately, no landing. Ooh, Juanpi going big. Let's see. That was pretty
Yeah,
decent.
he's happy
Claims
with that
it.
one as well.
Be great to see the replay of that one.
Hey, he's up for a good heat here, JP.
Let's see. Sits up with a big old kind of S bend.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
It's like a heart attack 3.
Smooth landing as well, it seems.
Yep, yep, he's stoked. He's stoked. Like I said, he hasn't done much freestyle or landed a handle pass in quite a while. Yesterday was his first attempt just to kind of get back into competitive mind zone. So
Never know, maybe he's gonna start training again and he's
yeah,
back in.
yeah.
Opens up a whole new world again.
Maybe this will convince him to get back into the hardcore scene of things because we do miss him. We missed him in nationals. He didn't want to show for some reason. I guess he was saving it up for the
Exactly.
GKA
Yeah.
World Tour.
Okay, so fourth trick attempts now. That was a nice hard attack there from Juan Pablo. It just looks like he might have wants a little bit more wind.
I think he's in a lull. I can see that water getting kind of silvery and
Yeah.
not kind of reflective. Usually means there's a bit of a lull going on.
Doesn't look like he's on the biggest kite there. Maybe going up a kite size or two would help.
I think
Looks
that's
like
his
maybe
13.
that is 13.
Yeah, I do know he's got a 15 back there somewhere. So yeah, maybe the 15 would be the better call.
Also tough though, changing kites in these sort of onshore conditions because you need to be giving yourself and with two-man heats. With
100%.
four-man heats, it's different. You have time to get back up wind, you have time to go to the beach, connect with your caddy. But in two-man heats, where it's a little bit one after the other with the onshore,
Nice tangent. Oh, kite on the beach. It's the second time for Antoine, unfortunately.
good job it's not a Friday or Saturday because that would have taken probably a few heads out.
Yeah, I was going to mention on the aerial shots that you can tell it is not a weekend because if this was a weekend, that swimming pool would be full, Palapas would be full, or yeah, it's a whole nother scene. The hotel staff is a lot chiller through the
Ah,
week.
I can see Maxime Chablos there on the right-hand side riding his flare. Right, he's paragliding.
Oh, really?
He's just on the right there, yeah.
Yeah, I missed it. I missed it. I thought you meant on a kite.
No, 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 no.
Well, you do have the onshore, and actually those buildings create a pretty good
That's what he
updraft.
was saying
So
to me.
yeah, if you know what you're doing, you can soar this whole beach.
Yeah, it's exactly what he said to me earlier today. He was walking around with his paraglider. Yeah, because Maxime now will be up again in round number 3, heat number 2, but we are going to be going over to the women after, so he's got time to have some fun.
The other thing I was going to mention too is, if you go to a bigger kite, a lot of the times here what you get is little hiccups in the wind. So you might just get a few little lulls, but the overall wind speed, is still strong. So if you go and think that because you were there and felt a little lull go to something big, you might be ridiculously overpowered as soon as the wind comes back. Oh, Pompey going for it, but again, crashing in that section of the shore break really messes up your landing.
Mm. Just look how close he is.
Yeah, he's right on the shoreline right there.
Yeah, he has crashed out though, that one. So there's going to be one more trick attempt. That is going to actually mean that the local JP is going to take the win here in this heat.
I'm sure he will
First heat
be.
win ever on the GKA.
He will be stoked. He'll be stoked. But you know what? I won't hear the end of this one after.
No. I'm sure you won't.
Bragging rights for days, right? There we go. You can see the scoreboard. You can actually see that big screen there.
Yep.
So you can see what the riders are seeing.
And we're continuing to follow Antoine here. Both riders crossing paths. JP now coming in, left foot forwards.
Doing all right.
Final trick attempt of the heats.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Still hand drag there as well.
Like a big slim, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. We got the front roll right there. Yeah. And front hand passes to, oops, or back hand passing to front.
And there we go.
Very nice. Little bit of a hand drag on the
Yeah,
line,
I
like
mean
you mentioned, but
he'll lose points for that a little bit, but I don't think it's not going to be the biggest scoring trick, but it's definitely going to be a nice one to end the heat on.
absolutely. Absolutely. Something to just build that confidence on.
So we're going to see JP now move into round number 3 along with Antoine as well. The seeding rounds, essentially rounds 1 and round 2, what we've been focusing on for the last couple of hours, those have given us how we're going to progress from round 3 onwards. So we're going to be going into 4-man heats now into the men. The round 3 is set. We're going to be moving our attention over to the women in round number 1. They're going to be 4 in a heat as well. So it's all systems go here on the first day of the GKA Freestyle Kite World Cup here in Mexico. So now the focus goes over to the women. Just been informed that the men have been released. So that's men over for day number 1. And we're now going to finish round number 1 on the women. And we can see here, those are your 4 riders taking center stage. 2 local riders here kicking things off, and with the Martina Konkel from Poland, and also Claudia Leon seeded number 2 in this event.
I know this is for sure Sarah Ricardo Huarte's first appearance at the GKA.
And also for Alexa as well. Alexa Sanchez, also her first appearance.
So I'm sure they are very excited. I bumped into both of them, and they were all smiles and bubbly and happy today. So hopefully they get a good performance on the water as well.
Yeah, well, they're going to be tested for sure. I mean, talk about tough starts. Proper high tide now.
Sarah was competing throughout nationals last week, though, so she has a bit of
Ah,
experience out
okay.
there. Hopefully that's going to help her out.
So if we have a little look into the rankings as well from last year, because a couple of these girls in this heat are part of the top five. Martina Conquel finished fourth last year in 2025. Claudia Leon just was came up short to Bruna, who was our world champion. So Claudia Leon with a second place finish last year.
Kali Concal going for first trick, like a blind judge.
So also with the girls, what's different is it's 7 and 4. So we're going to be doing 7 trick attempts, 4 counting. So you can see now on the left-hand side where the scoreboard is. There's now 4 scores to be inputted. In the white lycra, you have Claudia. So we've obviously done one full round of tricks now already. 2 crashes from the Mexicans. Ready to blind from Martina Conquel. And now that last trick coming in for Claudia. So going into the next round of tricks. Ready to blind. Always good with the drone as well. You sort of get a good perspective of the location that we're at, also the sea state.
You can really see where the buoy is compared to the shoreline too, to give you an idea of what that space is, how much space they actually have. Now remember, you're allowed to jump within the buoys and land outside, but you have to jump within the buoys for it to count.
Yeah. So talk to us about the season here. I mean, what's the season of wind like here in Mexico at the spot that we're at? Because we're about to head into what I believe is the rainy season coming up,
That is
over the next
correct.
few weeks.
That is correct.
Back end of the wind season now.
That is correct. That is correct. Usually here it begins to more of a spring. If you get too deep into the summer, we get the rains, and that's when it gets just a little too cloudy, a little too rainy, but it is cooler,
Yeah.
which is nice. Generally, Bucerías and Bahía de Banderas, its best time of year would be May, June, in my opinion. April, May, June. Anywhere past that, you'll start to see the rains pick up and get a little damp, and that's most spots in Mexico.
Okay, so we saw the first combo there of the day from Martina. The score's now starting to drop for these riders. Ready to blind with a 3.10 there from Alexa just before. Now we're on to Claudia. Nice there. Pure power from Claudia.
It's like a S bend to blind with the air pass. Very nice.
Yeah, Claudia, the year before last, actually came out of quite a nasty injury. She was off the tour for at least a whole year. Came back, managed to get second place at the end of last year. So we'll be looking to do one better for 2026. Always tough though when you've got Bruna, who still is, now a 6-time world champion, looking this year for her 7th, and she'll be up in the next heat as well.
Probably one of the most recognized names in
It's
kite
crazy, yeah.
surfing, both female and male.
And
Absolutely one of the
still the
biggest
fire
names.
is there, the passion's there all the time.
100%. Yeah, I'd love to see what her training regimen is, how much she's taking care of herself to keep herself fresh and still being able to do these power moves.
So a nice one there from Claudia. That's 5.87. This was the combo that we saw from Martina just before. Claudia having what looks to be a little bit of fun.
Seems like that pop kind of brought her a little bit of the height she needed to really land into that blind.
Yeah, so those are the highlights so far in this heat. You can see here following Martina. She's gone for a Rayleigh. Just trying to see exactly in what sequence they're at the moment. So third trick attempt now for Claudia. So far has 2 scores on the board, so she hasn't had a single crash just yet.
It's getting a little far from the judge's eyes, though.
Here we go. This must be the third trick that we just missed. Don't know if that was a huge butt check, but it's going to be scoring. So actually, I think where the confusion is coming is this Sarah is actually not going to be competing. She must be injured.
I was just informed that she was injured, and
Yeah,
she is
yeah, because we can see here that she's already been crashed out for all of her
Yes.
trick attempts. So there's actually only 3 of the 4 riders in this heat.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to her, but I just got informed that she is being taken to the hospital as we speak.
Well, wishing her a speedy recovery.
Indeed, indeed. The young, talented Mexican rider. Luckily, like I said, she's young, so I'm sure she'll recover and be back at it soon.
So that's a replay there from Alexa. Let's have a little look into the ladders as well and see how the positions will shift.
Ready to wrapped.
So again, how the men's works as well with the women is very much the same in these early rounds. This round 1, essentially, no one loses. So it acts as sort of a seeding round for the following rounds. If they win, they go straight to the final. And then they have a second chance to batten it out in the next round. So yeah, there's plenty up for grabs here.
Yeah, it's still a double elimination, I believe. So
Yeah, yeah. The good thing about winning in round 1, when you go straight to a final, is you position yourself quite well in the final. You know, you leave yourself being, well, if you win here, you'll be third to jump in the final, which is always good. You know, you see what people do before you. Plan your heat strategically.
100%. There's Gonka with a nice front roll to blind.
Okay, trick attempt number 4. Claudia just catches a back edge there and just goes straight in the drink.
About to say she's looking pretty dominant in the heat, but with that crash, it allows the other 2 girls to maybe catch up, especially Martina. This is Alexa Sanchez, one of our local riders.
So she wants to come in this way, yeah. Do her trick coming in towards the judges. Interesting moment there to take off. Didn't look like she had enough speed going into that trick.
It looked forced. I think maybe she was looking at her timer.
Yeah.
I noticed she just didn't have the time and said, you know what, I better just throw something.
Yeah, it can get like that. They've got 1 minute, 60 seconds to perform their tricks, but yeah.
And it does increase the nerves come up when you start to see that counter ticking, and you're like, you know, this is what I got.
Huge big clock just mounted on the beach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see the riders constantly looking back at that clock as they're riding, and that's pretty much it. They're trying to strategize and make sure that they get their trick done within that time frame.
Okay, Martina currently in first place. She's the only one with 3 scoring tricks to her name, going for a fourth. And
Oh,
again, similar to how Claudia had her mistake there on that last one, just catching that edge on the way down.
shifty to wrapped is what I think she was going for there. There we go, Claudia Leon on screen. You got to admit, this is a tricky spot to get that done in 1 minute. Like I said, it's dynamic wind conditions, dynamic sea conditions. So in order to get everything just right within a minute is
There's a lot of variables.
there's a lot of variables to put together.
Okay, Claudia, time is ticking now. Expecting her to do her next trick shortly.
And you can really see how sometimes it's executed perfect. They time it just right with the right wind, the right kicker, and they'll get huge, beautiful air. Very complex tricks and nice landings. But at the same time, you can also see that 1 second before or after, and don't quite get that pop. Don't
Yeah,
quite get that energy.
yeah, Claudia there opting for a toe side takeoff, but just completely loses the bar. Okay, so going now into the 6th round of tricks. So 2 rounds left. We'll see who will make it through to the final, who still has to battle it out in round number 2.
Got Alexa Sanchez, the backed up blind, kind of pumping her way out of that. Looks like she was a little underpowered, but got it going. Recovered her speed. Got Martina Gonquel, who at the moment actually seems to be winning.
Yeah, she's just ahead.
hmm That crash by Claudia Leon opened up the opportunity for her to move up, and she is ahead by approximately 1.5 points.
Yeah, she does really need another trick though, because
Oh,
again, yeah, she needs another one because Claudia's hot on her heels with just 2 tricks,
that
whereas
would
Martina is ahead with 3. So even a 1.5 or whatever it needs to be for Claudia Leon would just put her straight into first place.
like a little hinty to wrap there. That would have gotten, I think, Martina a little extra points to solidify that victory. But this makes it interesting. Leaves the door open for Claudia to come in and snatch the prize. Let's
Yeah,
see.
well, Claudia's needs 2 tricks. She's four counting now with 7 attempts, and she's got two attempts left. She's only got 2 counting, so ideally, yes, needs to be landing these 2. Okay, so here we go.
Man, nice. Good way to load up.
Yeah, nice takeoff. She's playing it
Oh,
nice and safe here with a
yeah.
combo, it looks like. Look, it's a combo and it's going to score.
It's
Obviously not her smoothest or best that she was looking for, but that's definitely going to put her into first place going into this last round.
like a front roll followed by a back to toe side.
So scores coming in for Claudia. It's definitely going to put her in the lead, just by the question is how much. Still waiting for this score to drop for Claudia as we now go into the last round now. So Alexa, more speed here. She managed to wrap herself around. Yeah, the judges will definitely take a load of points off that for
It wasn't a full sink, but that booty did touch the water.
2.6 there for the combo from Claudia. So she's now ahead by 0.3 of a point. So Martina crashes here. She'll have to go into round number 2. If she lands it, most likely Claudia also has to answer back. So nice little end to this heat to dictate who goes into the final.
Ray leader wrapped.
Yeah, so she has the ready to blind as well. The 3.43. And now Claudia's going for her final attempt, and then we'll be going into the last heat of the day. Claudia probably also quite curious to see what the score is that comes in through Martina. Whether she has to go for something big or she can play it safe, you know?
And this particular format does present a lot of opportunity for strategy. I can see there, you got to really think about, have I done a trick in this family? Have I done it for this side? Should I change it to, should I land blind? Should I run wrapped? And then, of course, like you said, realizing how much you need to win, right? I mean, you could win by 0.2, basically 0.1. The trick is to figure out, okay, what do I need to do and what can I do to actually, oh, very nice.
Yeah, very nice there from Claudia. So scores now dropping for that round number 1, heat number 1. Only 8 women in this competition here in Mexico. So our winners go straight through into the final. And from the looks of things, it looks to be Claudia Leon that's going to be advancing through.
Took a blind judge, that last trick by Claudia Leon. Not the biggest height, but very nice rotation and clean landing.
So just before we go anywhere, we're going to throw to the highlights of that first heat and also a quick commercial break before the final heat of the day number 1. And here we go, last heat now of the day here, day number 1. in Mexico for the first event of the year on the GKA Freestyle calendar. And these are our riders, the four of them. And we're going to be seeing Bruna Kjaer also, Nice Balbinot, Amanda, and also Anna coming out of Italy.
Ana Bongiorno is actually living in Mexico. She's been living in Mexico for the last not sure how many years, but she's almost a local rider by now. Ananda Gamyo, also a local rider, very talented and coming up. I think she's actually doing very well in the national circuit, so it'll be great to see what she can do here at the GKA. There we go. This is Ananda right here. Nice, Ray LeBeau. I didn't think she'd be able to stand up after that, but she rode out of it. I don't know if the judges will count it, but I didn't think she was going to get up and keep riding.
I think if they do count it, then it's going to be just seriously deducted
Yes,
on the
agreed,
execution, you know.
agreed, agreed. And one thing I like a lot about Ananda, and you can notice it amongst the nationals, is she has a lot of power, very aggressive style. That's why she's actually one of my favorites in the country.
Nice now going for her first trick attempt. Wonder if that's her own equipment. I remember she was saying to me earlier that the her kit didn't arrive in time from Mexico City, but it looks like she's now riding her own stuff. Doesn't gap the bar there, so that will go down as a crash.
Boy, there is nothing that can stress you out more than not getting your gear for the event.
Yeah. So crashes all around the board to open up this heat. We do now have your six-time world champion coming up for her first trick attempt of this competition. Bruna Kjaer, a name that needs no introduction.
The legend, right
Starting
here
things
in
off nicely.
Mexico. Very nice. Yeah, I think at this point she's probably one of the most recognized kiteboarders in the world, both between men and women.
Yeah, she's got plenty of titles now.
Hmm.
Has been here for a good few days, you know, getting used to the conditions and training a little bit.
Always seems stoked, shows happy, bubbly, happy to be here. Seems like she's having fun, you know?
Yeah, it's an easy place to have fun.
It is an easy place to have fun. That's why we keep coming back. That looks like Anna.
Yeah,
Yep, black shirt. Yep, yep.
Anna in the black lycra.
Yeah, Anna is both exciting to watch on the water as well as at the party. So anybody that'll be joining us to the ceremonies, keep an eye out for her. You cannot miss her.
It looks like the guys down at the beach as well want to try and push in round number two of the women as well. So we potentially could also, maybe it's not over just yet. I think that will come down to the wind conditions,
Hmm.
whether they're stable enough for us to continue. But the plan I've just been told is we will continue on after round number one with the women and try and push for round number two, which will leave us just the final at another point in the week.
Fantastic. Usually the wind does hold up until the late afternoon. It does get a little flukier though. So we'll just have to see what the judges think as well as the riders if it's worth continuing the heats. But wind here's usually expected right up until sundown. Again, the quality, it does devalue after about 4 o'clock. It gets a little worse, but if you get the right kite size, should work.
Just an unhooked back roll there from Anna.
It's like so far on the scoreboard, Bruna's the only one on there.
Yep, with her slim with a 4.90. Typically always starts her heats with that move as well.
Yeah, you know you're pretty good when you're starting, when you're opening with a slim, right?
They'll have some textbook stuff that they know they want to get on the board, and then from there build on the scores. Yeah, there's not a lot of leeway, you know, it's 7 and 4. It's you do have obviously 4 tricks counted towards your score, but 3 mistakes and
Yeah, yeah. Although you got to admit,
there's not a lot of
the
room
average
for error.
rider, started playing it safe with something called a slim chance is it's a funny concept, right? There's Who's that? Ananda?
Yeah,
That's
big
Ananda.
crash here.
Yeah, a lot of power. One thing I love watching about her, whether she crashes or lands it, it's always tons of energy, tons of power, and she's always stoked.
Okay, moving on to nice now.
Ananda and Einar Saad, one of our competitors you guys saw earlier today, actually train together a lot, and they're a very fun crew to hang out with.
Okay, here we go. Second trick for nice. Crashed out on the first.
So she's turning around.
Deciding against it.
Yeah, she wants that starboard side.
Again, looking over her shoulder, going to tack around again.
Oh, well,
Okay,
maybe she wants the
next.
port side.
Yeah, that's it. Definitely wants to go this way, coming left foot forwards.
Yeah, she looks locked in. Let's see this. Boom. Hooks. Yeah, shifty. Wrapped.
Do what she was looking for on the first attempt as well.
Mhm.
Nice close-up replay here.
Nice pass too. Hard to say if that was in the air, but it was definitely not. She wasn't holding into the wraps and just riding it out. It seems like she got that pass pretty early. See what the judges think about that.
Okay, now Bruno actually running a little bit closer to the shore here. Right in front of the judges now.
45 seconds. You can see that clock watch.
A little bumpy on the way in. Cool, catches that little bit of a wave as well on the way down.
It's like a hinty.
You see here,
Let's see that.
takes off on top of the wave, passes the bar.
Like a little Hindenburg. Very nice.
Some more scores coming in now. Front side 313 for nice, coming in at a 3.83. The back roll from Anna just scoring a very low 0.67, but Amanda having a couple of crashes to her name. However, I have liked what I've seen there. She's gone in full guns blazing on
Oh,
those. They've been proper crashes, you know.
oh yes. Oh yes. No, no. When she actually lands a trick, it's impressive. It's big spray, big clap landing. Yeah, no, she likes to bring the thunder.
Okay, so Anna again, the trick attempt now.
Anna Buongiorno. Not quite the pop she wanted. Oh, and her kite is in the buoy. Well, see if we don't get those lines wrapped in there.
Yeah, it could be a bit of a nightmare otherwise. You see there, just released.
Yeah,
So
yep,
we're
she
good to
got
go.
it. She got it. There you go.
She looks like those. Yeah, she's also riding straps, isn't it? You can see the board there, just to the right-hand side. Okay, so what's nice waving out here? Or is this Amanda? Oh, this is Amanda waving to the beach.
There you go. Picking up some speed, some energy. Eyes freely the blind.
And there we go. Yeah, so Bruna has a that's 5.07 as well for her handle pass front side.
She looked slightly underpowered on that reload blind. I know she likes to go a little bit bigger. I bet you she looked at that clock and said, you know what? I don't have time. I'm just going to throw it, see what I can get.
So next trick attempt now for Nice. You can see just on the bottom hand side of your screen here in that red lycra. She will be the next rider to jump.
Back to wrap. Quite there.
Looks like she was like, yeah, definitely lacked pace there and speed coming into that. Okay, Bruna now 2 for 2 with a 9.97 total score so far. Current heat leader.
She's looking for it. She's looking for it.
Yep, pops the toe sides.
Not bad. I honestly, right as she was leaving the water, I could see her getting sucked down, and I think she still pulled it off pretty well.
Yeah, didn't quite get the
Yep,
pop, you can see.
yep. So at the end of the board there, it looked like the water was kind of getting up on a rail. And no
Really
butt
gets
check.
pulled off. No
Not
butt
the,
check. Yeah,
not
no
the,
butt check.
not the smoothest land out, but definitely no butt check.
Okay, so Anna, 2 crashes and a back roll to her name at the moment. You can see now that sun is starting to give us that glare. Oh, big, a real aggressive Rayleigh there, getting yanked.
You always see how fast you have to snap those legs back down underneath you when you do a Rayleigh like that, which is really extended, but the height's not quite there. You can see just how quickly you got to bring that board back underneath you.
But it is going to give her something, but it won't be a lot just with the Rayleigh. So Ananda now, she has that 3.47 for a blind judge. Fourth trick attempt here. 1.3 for the Rayleigh from Anna. So there's some scores coming in now.
Let's see if it lines up for. Oof.
Oh,
Has
actually,
been to blind, but not quite there.
yeah, she has some proper crashes, eh?
Mm. Oh yeah, she's a powerhouse.
So Nice also crashed her last maneuver. Only has a frontside 313 to her name at the moment.
Still going
Big
for
back
that
edge.
back to blind, but yes, biting that edge and yeah, that's always a fun landing, coming in either blind or wrapped on that that hillside edge, and biting. Back of the head's always a fun place to
Bit
slap
of
the water
whiplash.
with. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Bruda's now going to be looking for her fourth counting trick. She'll be 4 for 4 then, and then she'll have 3 tricks to really play around with it and see which score she wants to advance on. At the moment, that chromobe is her lowest one, the 2.50, which she did on her last attempt. So I'm expecting Bruna to do a combo here.
And you could really see her experience and level, given how many uh, tricks she's actually landed throughout this heat.
I could expect maybe
Just looking
she'll go
for.
for the combo potentially. Or no, I
Oh,
think the
oh,
kite
oh.
crashed on the water there.
Ah,
Nice custom air rush kite there she has.
I was about to mention. I don't think I thought it was a prototype.
She's had that one for a couple of years now, I think.
Well,
I remember seeing it for the first time in Brazil.
when you're that good, you get your own custom kites.
Yeah.
There's Anna coming in.
Yeah, another she's going for the back roll, but I mean Anna here, I think, this is where the strategy side of things comes in a little bit more. She's gone for the back roll and then the rally and the back roll.
Her pop though isn't quite there, and I'm kind of wondering if maybe she's overpowered because if you look at her depower strap, it's pulled down quite a ways, and you can really see how she's having trouble edging into her pop. So I wonder if I can't see her kite size, but I wonder if she's just on a slightly too big a
Too big of a
kite.
kite, yeah. Yeah, it's still pretty windy out there by
Hmm.
the looks of things.
There you go.
Ah, that was a shame.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, again, I love the way she throws all that momentum into her rotations.
Tell you what, this second place is still well and truly up for grabs between the two riders, Nice and Ananda.
And Ananda, she is local Mexican, but she's not from Puerto Vallarta or Buceria. She's actually from the south of Mexico. She has ridden here before plenty of times, but it's not her home spot. She's not a local girl.
Nice going for just a Rayleigh.
Pumping it, keep that energy up.
I mean, it's quite smart there from Nice. I mean, she's obviously struggling a little bit out there with the
Mhm.
conditions. She knows that it's a tight spot between, probably having seen Bruno now landed 3 tricks. It would be tough to chase
Oh
that,
yeah,
but
yeah.
knows that second place is still very much up for grabs, but it's pretty tight. I think there's zero point 0.4 of a difference between the two of them. So that Rayleigh there maybe will score her probably, I don't know, 1.3, 1.5.
That's a decent strategy, though. I can see what she's doing. She's trying to basically compete against Ananda at this point.
Yeah.
So why go for something, why try to knock Bruna down with something that you might not land when you can go for something a little more reserved and still get second place?
Yeah, that's exactly what she's doing because we're also
It's too
going
big a
into the
gap.
sixth trick attempts now, so we are coming towards the back end of this heat. Bruno there, a lot more height and power.
Yes.
That was better.
Yes.
So that's definitely going to give her now that fourth scoring trick that she was after. Loads of height here, all things considering.
Back
Timed it
roll.
nicely.
The KGB. Good. Again, no butt check. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm just looking into the scores from the previous women's heat as well, and actually not one single one of the riders in the first round, the first heat, has done 4 counting tricks. They only managed to get 3, so Bruna now has that fourth trick counting, which will be that KGB. So it looks just like they're now going to be getting underway with the next round of tricks. Anna, replaying here that KGB from Bruna. This is her last trick attempt.
Making it work, making it
Yeah,
work.
making it work.
Looks like that exit off the water. Water seemed to have hit that nose of the board just a little bit, kind of the heel side, front side of the board. Stalled her out. She managed to get that, still get that pop, still get that rotation, and clean landing.
Seems that things are just slowing down a little bit down at the beach. Not sure why no one's just jumping right now.
Looks like Anna's coming into the competition square. Maybe there's a little bit of confusion there in sequencing, but I think she's set up and going to go for it here. I do believe this is the last round of tricks they get.
So there you go. The KGB from Bruna now landing 7.17. So really solid score there from her. And hopefully now that means we can get back into the sequence for the sixth trick attempt in this round. Oh, ouch. Big, big edge there.
Didn't quite catch that, but it almost looked like she came in on her back on that one, right?
I mean,
Kind of
let's get a replay on that just because it was quite a yeah, quite a full-on.
like she got about halfway through the rotation and then bit her heel side edge into the water. Ananda.
Here we go. Oh, she wants combo.
There you go.
It's tough, but you really need to try and get that second pop to give yourself enough height.
Especially in these conditions because you don't really know where you're going to land and you might not be landing in a spot that's going to allow you to pop. So to be able to just touch the water and bounce back is quite tricky.
Yeah, started off with that back roll, and then went for again. Yeah, just didn't have the pop. Nearly rode out of it.
I was also talking to her this morning and she is battling a little bit of a cold. So she's not, she would say she's not at her 100%. Not that that's an excuse.
Okay, nice. Had the Rayleigh, had the frontside 3-on-3, but other than that, it's been a quite a challenging heat for her.
This is her last trick though. If she pulls something, well, even if she doesn't, I think she's already in second place. So this
Yeah,
is,
for now, she's safe in second.
yeah. Yeah, she just gets to have a little fun on this one.
Wants the combo, but yeah, again,
Seems
went
like
for a
there's
Rayleigh into a back roll.
Seems like we're starting to get a little bit of holes out there too. You can see the color of the water changing a little bit. You've got some windier patches and some glassier patches out there. You can see that reflection coming off the water.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the team decides to do because the plan of action is to do a 10-minute break after this heat, and then we do round number 2 of the women.
Gotcha.
But if the wind's getting a bit holy, I mean, we're coming up now, sort of 4:30 local time, 4:30 in the afternoon.
And like I said, the winds tend to stay throughout the right up until
Oh,
sundown.
Bruna, going for a combo.
There you go. And why not? She didn't have to, but hey,
Yeah,
why
that
not?
definitely that will kick out the chromo that she did. See here, kite maybe a little bit high at the after that first sort of part of the combo, but then backs it up nicely. Anyway, she's got a 2.50 to push out the door, and I think that combo will do just that. 19.64 for Bruna, highest scoring total in the women. I think Claudia was around sort of the 14, yeah, 13.17, so quite some difference at the moment. Now that light, that sun there, just starting to drop around this time, making it quite challenging.
Oh yeah, look at that glare. That's amazing.
Okay, last round of tricks in round number 1, heat number 2.
Anna buongiorno.
Rayleigh or back roll?
I'm gonna say back roll.
I'm going to go
back
Rayleigh.
roll.
I'm going Rayleigh.
Oh, front roll.
Commentator's curse. Nearly managed to actually get around there as well.
And this isn't very typical of her. Like I said, I think she might have the wrong kite size or something because she can usually pop much more aggressively. You can tell how aggressive she's going into rotations, and usually her actual pop is equals her rotation, but in this case it's not happening for her.
Okay, Ananda now still has a chance to go into second place. Still has a chance. So here we go. Got to make it happen here.
Back to blind. Back to blind. Very nice.
Oh, she's happy.
Hopefully. Oh yeah, she's stoked.
So that probably could put her into second place there.
I think so. But Nice still has another trick up her well, left in her heat, so let's see how that works out. I apologize to the viewers. I actually thought that was the last trick she did was the last one. That's why I was thinking she didn't really need to do anything past that 3.83, but it's not true. Let's see how Ananda does, and I'm sure Nice won't give her a chance, right? She's like, hey, okay, I saw you do something. I saw you land it. Now I got to land something.
Yeah, Nice. Maybe we'll be looking for that combo again.
Yes.
Tried the combo last time. Seen Bruna just execute a good one that scored her a 4.
Well, I think she's going to go for that. Was it back to wrapped again or front to wrapped? Just because it seemed like she just wanted it. Yeah, and that's a tricky one, right? Do you go for something that you really want, or do you play it safe?
Yeah, well, it looks like it's paid off for Ananda now after that crash from Nice. She's going to go into second place. I mean, look, none of them are leaving right now. They still have a battle in round number 2. Bruno's going to go directly into the final and join Claudia. But the others will still have a second chance in round number 2, which hopefully we'll be able to go through today. So Bruna now a little victory lap, let's say, in this early round. Maybe wants to what's her lowest score now? She has the combo still, which was a 4.
Got a slight bit of lag there. Didn't quite see exactly what happened. I think it was a front followed by a pass.
Yeah, we'll watch the replay. Here we have it. Gets a good takeoff.
There's the front.
So her 4.90 that she started the heat with, the slim. She has a KGB of a 717. She has her combo of a 4. And she has her handlepass front side slim for 5.07 as well. And it looks like now she's just having a bit of fun out there. So don't go anywhere. We now have a 10-minute break, and hopefully we'll be back with more action in the women's. And welcome back as we're going to go into round number 2 for the women. That's all confirmed. There's going to be 3 in this battling for a spot in the final. Anna, Aleska, and Ananda. All 3 of them looking to find the spot in the final. Only one of them can go through. But then we're going to go on to heat number 2 of round number 2, where again, one more spot's up for grabs in the final. In the final already, we have Bruna Kajia and Claudia Leon. Bruna once again proving that she's the athlete to beat out here.
100%, 100%.
The only one to actually put 4 locked down scoring tricks as well, because it's 7 and 4 moving forward for the whole competition now as well. Even on the men's side, beforehand it was 5 and 3 because of those earlier rounds where no one really loses. But with the women as well having a slightly smaller ladder than the men, it's 7 and 4 from the get-go. So yeah, hopefully today we'll be finishing day number 1 here in Mexico for the Freestyle World Cup with a women's final already signed and sealed. And then we'll be pushing on the men for the rest of the week with hopefully lining ourselves up a back-to-back final on Saturday. So same rules apply. 7 attempts, 4 are going to be counting. Turn by turn. Coming up to about 5 p.m. here in Mexico. And crashing to begin is Anna.
But look at that smile.
Oh no, sorry. Aleska there, crashing out.
Let's get Sanchez.
Yep, so 2 crashes for our first 2 riders. I think if I had to put some money on one of these riders, it would be from the last one I was seeing, Ananda. If she can start to just link some of those landings together, she's got great power, and yeah, just if she can put those landings together, I think she has a very good chance of going through.
She does seem to be getting the best pop out of all the girls today, outside of Bruno, of course. So let's just see if she can. Yeah, there you go, Killer Rayleigh.
Yeah,
I'm playing it safe, but hey,
yeah,
it's a first trick on the board.
good extension there as well. Was pretty powered up on the Rayleigh there. But look, it's a score on the board, and when your other 2 crash out, it's all you need to begin.
Exactly right, exactly right. She didn't really have much of a ramp yet. That kicker wasn't quite built up. So I think, yeah, I think it's pretty good given the kicker she had in front of her. Also, maybe just a warm up, get that confidence going.
Yep, get used to the conditions.
Anna. And Anna's actually an incredibly hardcore rider as well. You see her on a good day, and she is very impressive. She's getting a lot more. Another Rayleigh. She probably looked at Ananda and said, "Hey, that's a good technique. Let's just."
Yeah, I'm going to do it ready as well.
Yes,
Now you're going to see which one was better. Okay, Alexa now. Sanchez.
We're getting some results in. Ananda 1.43. I'm very excited to see how that scores to Anna.
Yeah, I think Anna's probably going to come in around 1.2. That's my guess. I don't think it was as good.
I would agree with you
There was
there.
not a lot in it.
I would agree with you there. Oh,
There we go.
well,
Great start.
yeah, you're pretty close on that.
Yeah.
Call on Anna. Alexa's going to be interesting because she really didn't pop or extend, but she did land blind, I believe, or is that wrapped? Either way, she did come in and do a half rotation there, at least. So we'll have to see what the judges think about the lack of power going
Yeah, that's
into
just
the
it,
move.
isn't it? Getting that good pop.
I mean, technically, she for sure added more than the 2 Rayleighs, but how does that score to power? Personally, I was very happy to hear Alvaro Oneva this morning mention that power was going to be one of the main factors because whether it's snowboarding, wakeboarding, kiteboarding, or all of it, for me, it's all about the power.
Yeah, it's always the first thing that's part of the judging criteria that gets mentioned, power and sort of that height and amplitude, it all sort of sits together. So you can tick those boxes, match it with the technical difficulty of each trick, and that's where you're going to get the good scores.
Oh,
And that's a shame there. Good see, but definitely the pop that she's getting, she's getting the height, she's getting the rotations dialed. It's just these landings she's just struggling with a little bit.
she looked like she was having a little trouble figuring out where that bar was behind her back, and it kind of threw her off. She was expecting the bar to be there for her, didn't quite find it, and just threw, probably just mentally threw her off her game and couldn't stomp that landing. So you got Anna, back roll the toe side. Oh,
Oh no, followed by a crash.
yeah, it looked like she just rode into some white water. And some of that stuff's really bubbly, very champagne-y, so you hit it and you basically just sink. It's almost like there's no water there. Looks like a kite on the outside. Know what's going on there. Luckily, it does not seem to be interfering with the competition area, so game on.
Okay, so third trick now for Aleska.
Oh,
Again.
mini ready to wrap. Again, we'll have to see.
Yes, I mean it's sort
She's
of
still
like
hiding.
it's sort of a little bit like a surface pass at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
after the pop. It's not it definitely needs to try and get, you know, better pop, get a little bit of height.
Yeah, I'm sure she had bigger fins. She'd have a lot more trouble
Yeah.
getting around that turn once you hit the water. You're right. But again, it's going to be tricky to see technical, like obviously it's being a little more technical, but she really is lacking the power.
Yeah.
So we'll see how the
Yeah, it looks as well. Sometimes it looks like when I look at the bar and where the lines are, it looks like the kite's maybe a little bit too high, going into the trick. So now Ananda only has the Rayleigh to her name at the moment. Again, look, coming in with a bit more power, a bit more speed. Speed is your friend, isn't it?
100%. Oh yeah.
I mean, now she's
She
really
loves speed.
put the turbo on.
Yes.
There we go. Keep it
Oh,
together.
breaks the heart.
Yeah, that's tough to see.
It is. It is.
I mean, the landing was actually quite nice because it looks like she actually landed on the wave in front,
Mm-hmm. It almost
or the
feels
same
like
wave. Sorry.
she started coming, kind of going the opposite direction, just a little bit threw her off. Started edging a little too early, it seemed
Yeah.
like. And I saw that and was going, this is my chance. I'm going for it.
See,
Oh,
she's just checking. She hasn't quite unhooked. Oh, no, she hasn't unhooked. Just going for
no,
a. Oh, no,
no,
did
that
she
wasn't
unhook?
hooked. That wasn't hooked. She's got a very small chicken loop with a very big donkey. So,
Yeah, it didn't look
I,
as she was.
yeah,
I thought she was looking down. Ah, no, she did unhook. So
yeah,
just
she
the front
got
roll there. Unhooked front roll.
Yeah, these girls do a lot of hooked in stuff too, so they're not rocking the oversized chicken loops a lot of the times, which personally I think if they're gonna throw in the boots, they should really think about getting those big chicken loops as well. Although I've talked to some of these girls and they told me that if they go to the big chicken loop, sometimes the bar just ends up being so
Yes, so
far
far
from
away.
them.
Okay.
Alexa
Let's see how
Sanchez.
she goes into this one this time.
She looks stoked.
Needs
A
a
bit
little
high
bit
on the
more
kite.
speed.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. You see.
High.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's playing it very safe, almost dangly there. Trying to link it, but not quite. Is she just straight up not wearing fins at all? I'll have to go take a look at her board later
Yeah, we
today.
need to go and do some inspection. So it's a beautiful coastline of this amazing part of the world we're at.
Honestly, one of my favorite places to do long reaches. Like I said, just take a few pesos in your pockets, and if you've got friends up and down the beach, you could just cruise up and down, say hi to everybody, and make it an awesome day.
And it's one of the largest bays in the world, no?
It is, it is. Yeah. I remember way back in the day, we had a competition in both Mark Ramsier and Martin Barry came to say hello, just kind of be celebrities at the event. And at the end of the day, we said, that your shuttles are ready. They opted to actually ride back to their hotel,
As you do.
as you do.
That's better. Oh,
Oh,
again. She's having some big crashes, eating it up. And this is where she has to think a bit more tactically now, Ananda. She's definitely got the
yeah,
tricks in the locker, but
yeah.
really does need to give herself a little bit more margin.
She's not subtle, is the thing. Every time I've ever seen her ride, I love the way she rides. Tons of power, commitment. But in competition, like you said, sometimes you need to be a little more strategic, and I'll see if she can kind of adapt to that.
Back roll to toe side there from Anna. So that will probably push her into first, actually,
Anna, buongiorno.
after that last trick. She has the front roll. That last one will tick the back roll category.
Hmm. Hmm. That's that safe but consistent approach, which a lot of times can pay off. Oh, whoa, back to blind with kind of an old layout of it. Don't crash, girl, don't crash. Yeah. And she waves to the crowd by looking at the camera saying, hey, you caught that, right? Here's the replay. The back, the blind, and kind of old lays out of it.
Yeah, no, that trick from Anna there, that uh, back roll was a 1.2. Her front roll still remains higher because it's in the same category, 1.68. So no movement there for her.
Well, after that move, Alexa seems like she's going to move up quite a bit and start becoming a little more of the harder to beat top dog of this heat. Let's see if Ananda can recover. It's a great view of her and her kite.
Good angle here coming in. You
She like
see,
Espend. Oh my God. Oof.
boom.
Again, tons of power. Super low kite too. Did you notice how low that kite was?
Yeah, it's about to have a right old mission on the beach there. Riding the new that new Harlem
The new
sea kite that
Harlem.
they've recently brought out.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Wouldn't mind giving it a go myself. Probably not going to be doing any of these tricks, but just to feel it.
So trick round now number 6, starting off with a crash there from Anna. So Alexa, at the moment, is your first place rider. She has the blind judge that she opened up with a 2, and she also has the blind from a 1.53.
Yeah, that old lay was a little bit messy. I guess what impresses me is just her shoulder, is still intact after that. But yes, if I was a judge, I guess it is definitely not as clean. It wasn't textbook. To blunt with an Ole the other way.
Ooh, followed by a crash.
Yeah, that's probably not gonna count.
No, that one will definitely not count.
Which allows Ananda and Anna to maybe catch up. So
A big opportunity here for Ananda. She really needs to land this, otherwise the pressure's all on them with one final trick. If she can land something here, at least give herself a little bit of breathing space.
yeah.
And this is where that competition experience comes in. Okay, here we go. 6th trick attempt now. Ananda. You see it's red on the judge tower, so she was going to be getting involved. That's Martina Conkel. She's going to be in the next heat. So that rider is the wrong rider. We're looking for the other rider in the red lycra.
She'd be the one flying that purple kite.
Yeah, the big Harlem purple kites. Actually can't see her there on that drone view.
Is that not her right here? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's her.
There we go, in the
Right
middle.
in the middle, yeah. Unless I'm completely wrong, is that's a duotone, but I'm a little confused now.
She's gone missing.
Well, she did. Didn't she crash her kite at that last heat? So she might
Yeah.
still be on the beach
Oh,
recovering.
they've crashed her out now. So she's also been crashed out. So now we're in the last round of tricks. Crash there from Anna. No advantage there for her. So last 2 trick attempts now. Yellow lycra. Who's going to be booking their place into the final?
Alexa does seem set up for it. Seems like she's got the
Well,
upper hand at the
she
moment.
went for a combo.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it.
Something.
Well, I don't know if that was pop to pop though. I mean, they might give her that.
Yep. At this point, as long as she's just adding little bits of
There are
score.
no fins on the boards. I can't see any fins.
No, I think yep. Yeah, that would make sense why she could land, like you said, and just butter out of just about anything.
Okay, be great to see if there is Ananda in the water as well. We're looking for that red lycra. It doesn't look like she's made it back out there after that crash.
It's like Anna. I wonder if they just skipped over Ananda if she wasn't ready, or maybe they see her on. Oh, no, there she is,
Here we
there she is,
go. There we go. She has one chance. Because we have another score now for Aleska on that last trick. So this is going to be a goodie. She can do it. You can see.
That's Maxime from Cancun, one of our Mexican riders. I believe he's French, but he's good friends with Ananda.
Well, there you have it. Aleska will be booking her way into the final, joining Claudia Leon and Bruna Kajia coming up next in very, very quick moments. We're going to be having the heat number 2 of round number 2. And here we go, last heat of the day, round number 2, heat number 2 of the women. Nace Babanot against Martina Concal. Sarah, unfortunately, is not going to be able to continue on in the competition with us. And we wish her a nice speedy recovery. So it's now between a battle between the two of them, trying to get into the final. Nice at the moment does have a Rayleigh. She has a 1.07 already scored, and we can see now we're joining her once again for her second trick attempt. Martina, we will give you an update shortly with what she opened up her heat with. 7 trick attempts, 4 going to be counting. Who's going to be booking a place with Aleska, Bruna, and Claudia Leon? Tough one here because, I mean, Nice is ranked 6th in the world, Martina's 4th, you know, and you could argue that both of them deserve a good shot over in the final as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Looks like Nice is really focused though too much on that shifty to wrapped, and either she just seems like she's been trying that since her last heat. Maybe modify that a little bit if she's not able to land it. Maybe play it a little bit safer, kind of rack up some more points before going for it.
Yeah, Martina's opened up nicely here with that 3.2 and the blind judge.
Less up.
See, it looked like there she wanted to go for like the combo afterwards, but the chop just made her just lose her edge on the landing.
It sucked her nose in.
See the replay here.
She looked solid there.
Bit of a mixture of replays here, it looks like. That's nice. Okay, Martina pops.
There you
Oh
go.
no, sorry, nice. My mistake.
That's the one she was trying to do all this time that I just said maybe she shouldn't try, and there you go.
Shut you up, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Couple of riders there, wrapped up their day. Replay here from Martina. Yeah, I feel like she wanted to maybe do something else after that as well.
Yeah, that's the move. She was trying it so hard in her last heat, but she crashed so many of them. Good to see her actually finally nail it. I think it's probably one of those things that you want to get. You know,
Yeah.
that right there.
Okay, Martina.
Spend the blow.
Oh, just losing it on the landing. So waiting for some scores still to drop. Let's try and get the action onto the water if we can. There we go. And a 3.77 there for Nice with that frontside 313. Back into first place.
And it was well worth the attempt. Like I said, I was hoping to go safe, but you know, sometimes you just do that one trick you really need and it plays out for you. So tactics are a tricky thing in these games, in these events.
Gets it. Oh, just on the edge of that wave there.
Yep, right at the peak.
Yeah.
Just bounces you right off.
Otherwise, I reckon she might have got around there.
And that was a progression. It seems like now she's going for the back to wrapped. So she's initially doing
Martina.
she's looking nice and powered right there. Riding slightly out of the box. I'm sure she's going to transition here because judges will not score her where she is currently.
Yeah, they're in their 4th trick attempts now, so just over halfway in this heat.
So you're riding into the competition area right now, passing that buoy. You see the judges behind him, 35 seconds to go, and I'm sure she'll be pulling the trigger here pretty soon.
Yeah, she's got to go now unless she likes to come back the other way. No, looks like she's flattening off here. That's nice there from Martina.
Very nice. I spend a blind.
Okay, so nice would have seen that. Now to answer back because that Martinez is going to bump herself up into first place.
Oh yeah, she knows she's got to bring it now.
Okay, here we go.
Front to toe side. I think she was trying to go for the front to wrap there.
It might be something for her.
You could definitely see by the way she expressed herself at the end there that that was not the complete trick she wanted to get.
Yeah, S bent it blind from Martina. 4.47. Nice one there for her.
Pressure's on now. Yeah, and I doubt that front to toe side would score anywhere near close to that 4.47. So she's definitely in second place and needs to work on something to catch up. Back flip by nice up right into a shifty to blind. Again, Martina just racking up those points little by little. Back right into a shifty, I believe, to blind. Yeah.
Nice. Good combo. Points on the board when she needs it most.
Mm-hmm. Now, I bet you Nice is starting to feel the pressure now. She's thinking, okay, I really got to bring something to get me back into
Yeah,
contention for this heat.
needs to tick some different categories. Some more scores on the board. Ah, yeah, and it's going to be tough here because Martina's got a score coming in for a combo.
I'll give her this much though. If she would have landed it, that kite would have been low. That was definitely a low and loaded move right there.
3.80. So yeah, 11.47 now.
That's always the dilemma. Play it safe or risk it, right? They can both work out for you. It's really just a gamble every time.
So this is the sixth trick attempt now from Martina, and then it's the last round of tricks. Surprised at how much the wind has stayed this afternoon here.
Nice back roll the blind. Well, like I said, it usually lasts till sundown. The main thing, though, is it starts getting quite holy and gusty, and the fact that it's actually stayed relatively smooth is a real good sign. Let's hope we continue to get these conditions for the rest of the week.
Just at low tide.
I did notice that high tide you mentioned, though, by the way, when we walked over there. Yes, once you're on the beach, you can really tell the difference.
Yeah, big time. Okay, here we go. Last round of tricks now for our two riders. I mean, there's still an opportunity. The door is still slightly open for Nice, but it's going to be a long effort to try and get that done. Needs to be a near perfect.
Yeah, at this point, it's almost risk it. Go big and risk it.
Yeah, you have to.
Yep, 100%. I mean, no point in playing it safe. You're not going to make it anyways. Might as well go for the biggest thing you can and see if you can just score huge.
She's coming in with a load of power.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Pops. Going for a combo.
Oh, yep. Front roll the Rayleigh. Not sure that's going to be enough.
I would have liked to have seen her maybe push that combo a couple of tricks ago, put a bit of pressure on Martina.
Yes. Yeah, you got to think about like the psychological factor, right? You can actually put pressure on your opponent in this case and make them make mistakes essentially just by getting them more nervous.
Yeah, Martino anyway put down a big score of the 4.83 with the back to blind. So anyway, even if Nice was to score a perfect 10, then
Still wouldn't
it
have been enough.
was never going to be enough now that Martina has 4 tricks on the board. So a good heat from her. So this is the victory one, let's say, the victory trick. Last trick of the day.
Always happy to see the victory trick. Nice, easy style. Good. A little ready to lead to blind with an air pass. Looking good. And you know she's hardcore because she's got that CTI knee brace going.
Yeah, I remember she was injured a couple of years ago. And as you can see there, Martina with 4 nice scoring tricks there, 16.30. Not quite up in the 19s where Bruna was, but still, she's only the second rider to have in the women's division to have those 4 scoring tricks out of the 7 attempts. Claudia Leon got a very similar, I think it was around 13 she scored just with 3. So we have our finalists for tomorrow.
I think that was a very respectable heat
In
or
the
run on her behalf. Absolutely.
Yep, so the finalists for the women, they'll be up later on in the week. The attention for the rest of the event will go on to the men, where we'll be pushing forward on round number 3 from tomorrow onwards. 12 o'clock, we have our skippers meeting tomorrow, which is roughly 8 hours behind the European time zone. So put it in your calendars. We'll be back, hopefully, with very similar conditions for day 2 of the GKA Freestyle Kite World Cup here in the beautiful spot of Mexico.